Chad Simmons and On3 here at Chandler High School in Arizona with the #1 player in the 2024 class, Dylan Raiola. Dylan, obviously, the shirt says it all. You've made your announcement going to the Ohio State. I know I was here just a few months ago, and you were looking forward to going into these trips this spring, and Oregon, USC, Georgia, Ohio State, numerous schools were in the mix for you. Coming out of those trips, you knew you found your home, Ohio State and Columbus. Let's talk about that first of all. What was it about Ohio State, and why did they get your commitment?
Yeah, Ohio State is just a special program. It's everything they do it right. From you walk in the building, there's no fake to any of them. Coach Day mentioned to me, they just open their gates and they just let their culture show and just display it all. And I can just feel the brotherhood, feel the love. And I just felt like it was very real. It wasn't fake. Talking to the players, talking to coaches, and just talking to outside sources that are connected to Ohio State, know Ohio State, went to Ohio State, and so I felt very at home at Ohio State, and I'm happy and I'm ready to be a Buckeye.
You didn't really, publicly have any true leaders going into these trips. You were open. You were obviously exploring your options. I mean, Ohio State obviously came out of that, the winner. When did Ohio State really start to click with you?
Yeah, I think when Coach Day, he reached out to Drew Stanton. He's a very close family friend of ours, played with my dad, and so he wanted to get me back out. I just always loved Ohio State, loved what they do with quarterbacks, very quarterback friendly, and I just knew that I needed to get back out there, and that I felt wanted, and it was a special place just from seeing the history and what that program does. So once I got back out there, we just hit it off.
Yeah, talk about, that was your second time at that point, Ohio State, correct? You were there for the Penn State game in the fall there, and then returned, obviously, to kind of somewhat close the deal for their spring game later on in the spring. But talk about Day, talking about the culture kind of creates itself. People call it, I know other guys talk, the brotherhood at Ohio State. Do you feel that as well?
Yeah, 100%. Just the players. I told the players, that I'm a Buckeye, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and I just felt really, really good about my decision, and I have no regrets.
Yeah, talk about when you gave them the news. Take us through that moment. When was it, Coach Day? Coach Smith. Take us through that moment, kind of when it was, where you were, how you delivered it to them, what their reaction was.
Yeah, I knew once I wanted to go back out there for the spring game. I knew it was time. I told my mom, this is the last trip we're going on. We had that meeting at 12 noon, and I knew once 12 noon hit, I was going to be a Buckeye. So I went into that meeting with Coach Day. We were just talking about family and how everybody's families are doing. And it kind of went quiet for a little bit, for about a couple seconds, and I just said, Coach Day, we're excited to be back out here. And I just said, I'm ready to be a Buckeye. And, he stood up and he said, let's freaking go. And, I kind of was just like, man, I'm ready. I wasn't really, it hit me right away just because I knew this is where I wanted to be. This is where I want to play my college ball.
Yeah, talk about, that connection with Coach Day, what he's done, with quarterbacks and other coaches on that staff you've gotten close to.
Yeah, what they do with quarterbacks is, it's not a lot of people can do that, especially at that high level. You just learn a lot of stuff from him right when you get there, and he just prepares you. He's not going to put you out there if you're not prepared. I just feel really confident in that he's going to push you to be your best, but also he's going to make sure you're ready.
How difficult was this, or how easy was this for you in the end? You maybe committed a little bit sooner than you thought you would. Was it just that simple and that easy? Was it pretty hard to get to this point?
I think when I went back for my first visit before the spring game, I think that was a huge turn of, just Ohio State getting back on top of #1, and just, I just knew that, this could be a real option for me. And I came back home, prayed about it, talked to my parents about it, talked to, the people that are close to Ohio State, went to Ohio State, and I just knew, I was like, man, they're giving me all this, and I'm seeing everything they're telling me. So I was like, I'm ready.
Talk about, kind of the quarterback, the competition. There's always competition. I think you understand that right now. C.J. Stroud's that guy. They signed Devin Brown in this past class. Talk about competition and kind of how you view that going into a place like Ohio State, knowing that you'll have other quarterbacks, very good ones, to compete with.
Yeah, I love competition. You go to any of these places, you're gonna have to compete with anybody. So, just finding that right fit to compete, and it's just you just got to go out there and do what you do and do what you've been doing your whole life.
How much did the offensive scheme, the guys that they put around you, they put out offensive linemen into the league that protect you. They put out, obviously, wide receivers. That's pretty clear to see this year's draft and even next year's too coming up. They're going to have guys around you that protect you and allow you to make plays. How important was that?
Yeah, that's a huge deal. That's another reason why, I'm going to Ohio State. Coach Dennis said something to me that stuck out to me. It was just, take the pressure out of your hands and get it in the playmakers' hands. So just hearing that and just processing that, it was really just, that really sank in and made a lot of sense to me. That I can look really good with a bunch of wide receivers, and just, trying to achieve my goals of winning a national championship first and hopefully a Heisman.
Your dad played for the Lions for, 14 years?
14 years.
I remember one time we were here before we talked about Ohio State, and you said that team up north. So, I mean, you know about that rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
What's it mean to be a part of that in the future? To play in the Big Ten and obviously that rivalry with Michigan.
Yeah, that's sweet. We don't say it at our house no more. It's team up north. I'm excited. That's, I think, the best rivalry in college sports and sports in general. But just to, been watching that since I was a little kid, and now that I'm going to have a shot to play in it, we're definitely going to go win.
Talk about, if the fans haven't seen you play, haven't seen tape of Dylan Raiola and kind of know what you are, what they're getting, how would you evaluate yourself?
Yeah, I think they know that they're going to get a kid that's very humble and very respectful, and he's going to work hard. He's going to earn everything that he gets, but he's also going to be the best teammate there is. I'm gonna go out there, be coachable, and spinning around in the shoe. We got the best damn fans in the land, got the best damn band in the land. So, just being able to perform at a high level in front of them, and it's going to be a fun time.
Now let's close with this. I know you're a guy that has many, like your dad, a long Rolodex in your phone of now, you were the recruits, and your dad has some obviously high NFL guys and guys he played with in college and all that kind of stuff. But you have a lot of guys a lot of guys you want to bring with you now to Ohio State. What's going to be your pitch to those guys about why they should look at Ohio State or why they should commit to Ohio State? And is there any names out there that you want to throw out there that you're already kind of on, maybe ahead of time?
Yeah, I think I don't got to say much recruiting pitch. I just got to get them up there, and that's it. That's all it's going to take. I don't think there's much pitch to give these guys out there, but just to get to Ohio State and you see what it's about, you're going to leave that place, shocked if you're not shocked already. And, it's a lot of kids' dream schools, so let's make those dreams come reality.